Good morning. Hello, beloveds. Oh my gosh. Already, all the love. Good morning, Cynthia, Nancy. Good morning to you. And Jason, good morning, beloved. Jason, we got to get back out on those walks. I miss you. Um, Welcome to a spiritual remedy. My name is Sunshine Day, and I am your spiritual living coach. I see a world where clean and sober people are living their best life and loving it. And what I do is I provide spiritual tools and loving support for your personal transformation. I absolutely love Monday mornings because I get to come live with you and to you. Good morning, Patty. And this month we've been looking at and celebrating Recovery Month, National Recovery Month, a month where the USA has been really looking at and lifting up and celebrating the strides that have been made in mental health and the strides that have been made in the field of recovery from all forms of addiction. Good morning, my beloved Bertha. So good to have you with us today. Yeah. And I just want to give a shout out to a friend of mine. Her name is Tara. And Tara, I'm always about lifting people up, right? Tara is someone who I met. Good morning, Laura. She's someone who I met who actually interviewed me. I actually had me record my recovery story on her website. It's called keepcomingback.net. keepcomingback.net. And she keeps asking me, she goes, Sunshine, do you know some people who have a good story, good recovery story, and who would like to have their story recorded so that at any time when people need upliftment, when they need to hear someone else, that they can just like go on the website, download the podcast, or just listen to it and listen to somebody's story, to be uplifted and to recognize that they are not alone. So if you'd like to get a hold of Tara yourself, you can go right on that website. It's keepcomingback.net. Let her know that I sent you, that you saw it on my show here. My story's on there. So if you want to know a lot about me and my recovery and a little more insight as to what I'm about, you can find my story on there. It just has my name, Sunshine, and my sobriety date of January 10th, 1987. I want to lift her up because as we're celebrating National Recovery Month, there are many stories of so many folks who have recovered. And what I have found in many of the stories that I got an opportunity to listen to, thank you, Nancy. Nancy says, great talk on Keep Coming Back, Sunshine. Thanks. I guess you heard it and listened to it, huh? As we're looking, I did a talk yesterday and there was something in there that I said, I'm going to remember this for tomorrow. And that is this, there's a lot of times as recovering people with food addiction, gambling addiction, sex and love, whether it's crystal meth, marijuana, alcohol, there's a stigma on the word alcoholic and addict and things of that nature, and I like that Recovery 2.0, Life Beyond Addiction, really has this more along the lines of that we're stuck in beliefs and behaviors that no longer serve us. Sometimes those labels and those names have this stigma along with it that actually prevent people from consciously connecting with that indwelling presence and establish healthy living ways, a healthy life. And the idea that name calling, right? You remember that old thing, sticks and stones could hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words and name calling actually do. It's pretty sad that, we resort to calling each other names. But at any rate, the idea that folks have recovered is a beautiful thing to me, especially when folks discover this indwelling power and presence that's right where they are. Like, they don't have to go to the mountaintop. They don't have to go to the bottom of the deep blue sea. They don't have to go to the temples or the ashrams or the churches to find it. That power and presence is right where you are. Now, the quote, I forgot who the quote was from, but the quote said, what if what is in the way is the way? What if what is in the way is the way? And I'm reminded of my own story of recovery, where I thought that my addiction, my constantly going back to drinking and drugging and the shenanigans that went along with it, it's interesting to have that be in the way. Like, people would easily look at my life and go, yo, your drugs and alcohol are in the way of your greatness. Thank you, Patty. Patty thinks that that's profound. Good morning. Isn't it? Isn't it though? Right? What if what is in the way is the way? Right? Because, for many people, oh yeah, that thing is in the way of your greatness. But isn't that obstacle or that thing that is actually in the way there as a blessing? As a blessing, meaning as the gift to look at and kind of go, oh yeah, this is not how, and to actually help us make that resolution, actually make that shift and that change. Like, that is not what I want for myself. What I want for myself is actually this, right? The illusion or the distraction, which is our drugs, our alcohol, all those things, those are weapons of mass distraction. And if we were to look at that distraction and go, oh, wow, you're a decoy, you're distracting me from the truth, boom, to recognize it, to see it. Yesterday I even mentioned that even Rumi, the poet Rumi, in one of his amazing poems, talked about anxiety, depression, despair, whatever it is, that we were to invite it in and sit with it and say, what is it? What is it that you're here to teach me? What is it that you're here to tell me? What is the message that you bring? And even if we're to look at the message of our beliefs and behaviors that are keeping us on a destructive path, that's the message. You keep doing me, you're going to destroy yourself. You keep picking me up, your life is going to hell in a handbasket. You keep doing this behavior, and this is what you're going to get. That message, that thing that is in the way is bringing is actually the way. It's actually the way. Nancy says that strength comes from resistance. It's interesting to actually think about martial arts, right? The martial arts, they actually, when someone comes with a punch, they don't try to, stand in front of the punch. What they do is, in that punch, what the other person does is they grab the hand and keep pulling, because that force is already going, right? And so imagine getting propelled that way. Like, yeah, keep going, just move out the way, somebody coming, it's just lean back. And and with that, it's really like, okay, Yes, keep going. That's not what I want to do. Bertha says, recognize this morning how hard at work at holding on to what no longer, yeah, it is how hard I work at holding on to what no longer serves me. It's familiar. It's familiar. That's why I hold on to it. I might be afraid, and I'm speaking about me. If you identify with this, Bertha, or anybody else, great, right? But yeah, you know, there are things in my life that no longer serve me, but I hold on to them. Hold on to them. Why? Because they're familiar. And then I work at holding on to them. Friendships of people who, I call and I call and I call and I leave a message and leave a message and, holding on, making the effort, making the effort, making the effort, making the effort. And they don't call me back. Well, guess what? Why am I working so hard on that relationship with this particular individual when it's not reciprocated? Why? What is it? And so I invite that in. It might be, my need to be a friend, or maybe I wasn't a good friend before and I'm making amends by trying to be this good friend. What if I just let that go? And when that individual is ready to call me, they call me. And then we can pick up from there. Or what is it about, our addictions, those things that are constantly in the way, that pattern of doing things. And it's kind of like there's an easier way. It's letting it go. It's letting it go. And so how wonderful that during National Recovery Month that we get this opportunity to talk about these things, and that we get an opportunity to not only look at the thing that's in the way, as that um instrument that then puts us on track, if you will, but then we also get a chance to develop that conscious connection with that indwelling presence. That indwelling presence, that thing that animates your body, that thing that is life itself that you have, like that power, that presence. And we get to focus on life affirming activities. And we let those life affirming activities buoy us and guide us and lead us into living our best life and loving it. Now, we all know the things that we do and that we participate in, and the feeling tone that they bring up, that feeling tone of joy, that internal happiness, like all of those things, peace, abundance, harmony, confidence, love. Like when we're actually feeling those things, when we're actually connected and not in the busyness of doing, but in the actual life of being. I remember several months ago, the 3 S's came up, right? Like slow down, be still, be silent. And that in that slowing down and being still and being silent, that we consciously connect with that indwelling presence, that internal guidance system. That higher power that's right here. I know that a lot of times that anxiety and the dis-ease and the despair, it makes us feel alive because it's like, ah! But when we step away from that, when we look at that, and when that's in the way, we recognize it as the way, that it is the reminder, if I keep doing this, I'm going to get that. And so it actually brings me toward this internal peace. This opportunity to relax. This opportunity to trust God, trust higher power, trust life, trust spirit, trust prana, trust the indwelling beloved, and love people. You see, because when I trust God and love people, I trust life and love people. What that enables me to do is to not worry about the outcome, but to engage in loving activities and trust the process, that life is always going to show me its best. I love this song by Ricky Byers, and she says, I pray that you see the best of life, the best of love, the very best of everything. And that's why I do the show. Because as your spiritual living coach, my purpose is to put you in touch with the spiritual tools and the loving support for your personal transformation so that you see the best of life, the best of love, the best of everything. I know how I feel when I'm living from that place. It's awesome. You know how it feels because it's awesome. It's better than any food or alcohol or drug or sex. It's better than any of that could ever bring us. So if you're within the sound of my voice, watching this on YouTube or Facebook, I simply want to invite you to give yourself the opportunity of spiritual living coaching. I want to be your spiritual living coach. I want to share with you the spiritual tools and give you the loving support for your personal transformation. We can do it one-on-one. We could do it in group setting. I also have a Living the Serenity Prayer class that starts tomorrow. It's 6 weeks. Go over to aspiritualremedy.com. Sign up for that class. It starts tomorrow. And know that you are loved. We've got one more week to this month. Let's make it the best week ever. Know that you are loved and supported and that I am here for you as your spiritual living coach. Until next week or until we connect, reach out to me. I'm here for you. Have a great week. Bye for now.
Celebrate life. You celebrate your life. Celebrate the memories, the birds and the trees, the hugs and the kisses, the hits and the misses.
Don't wait till it's too late.
Don't wait till it's too late.
Love and appreciate.
Love and appreciate.
Show them that you care.
Show them that you care, and you'll always be there.
Yeah.
Celebrate life. Rejoice, rejoice. Celebrate life. Rejoice, rejoice. Celebrate life. Rejoice, rejoice. Celebrate life. Rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice.